know you one crazy motherfucking wop, man.
What's your point? Welcome, folks, to the show. It's, what is it, a Tuesday? It's a Tuesday. Right after the show, I will be bolting to do Crowder Show live for the next 2 mornings. So catch me there, don't forget. Welcome to the live lineup where you get my show and the aforementioned Louder with Crowder and all these other shows for free. Want it ad-free? Rumble Premium. So follow my channel, download the Rumble app, and know you did one thing right this morning or today. Today I'll be talking about big-time Indiana Hoosier win last night in the National College Football Championship. And it's more than just that game, and I got a ton to say on it. It almost changed the way I'm looking at life. Luckily, I'm 63. It's too late for that, but I'll tell other people. Don Lemon gets squeezed, another lying asshole who he's just dying that he's not in the limelight anymore. The Lemon Limelight. Good night, everybody. Bye. Thank you. We also have a guy came up with a machine for people who want to say bye-bye, and your own life, but it's a very high-tech thing. It looks cool. Looks like a giant vibrator, and you get in it and shut the cat and say bye. Also, Gay Pride Night again in the NHL, and the Washington Capitals are like, we're not doing that crap, which they did a couple of years ago, too, or last year. I don't know what's going on in D.C. Somebody's got their head on straight. And Dems still can't define a woman. So good luck trying to win an election with that logical lack thereof. That was a question on Jeopardy last night. I'll take, what is a woman? I got no idea. Anyways, let's get on to the. I went to bed thinking about this game. I got up thinking about it. On the way here, I was thinking about it. And it's more than just the game. It's the people who played it. And Hoosier Heaven, as we're calling the first story.
You're going to eat lightning and you're going to crap thunder.
Boy, did they ever. The number one ranked Indiana. And if you're not a college football fan, you're going to have to sit through this for a few minutes. But I had a ton of takes on this. I'll only give you half of them. I had to have that one cigarette. Thank you. The number one ranked Hoosiers defeated number 10 Miami in a great football game, 27-21. Upcoming flight, time sensitive. Uh-oh. I don't even want to look at that. And the 2026 college playoff national championship game. It was in Hard Rock Stadium, which is in Miami, by the way. And Miami just happened to be playing in the championship game. But their fans were still outnumbered. I don't know how that works as far as ticket sales go. With the win, the Hoosiers, listen to this. I don't know if you can appreciate it. 16-0. And that's hard to do at the youth football level. I'm not exaggerating. Definitely high school. It's hard to go undefeated in high school. I mean, football's just that kind of game. You're going to have, due to injuries, because it's such a rough game, and young guys play it, and sometimes their head's in the game, sometimes it's not, or they can't handle the pressure. But listen to this. 16-0, finish off the worst to first story with the program's first championship in program history. Indiana is the first team to win its first national title since Florida did it 30 years ago, 1996. Jamari Sharp intercepted a pass from Miami quarterback Carson Beck with 44 seconds left to clinch the victory for the Hoosiers. The Hurricanes were driving, looking for a touchdown drive to potentially snatch a victory in a game that they had never led in, but it was always close. And Fernando Mendoza, and this is the kid first of all, his potential as a football player is through the roof, but as a marketing prospect, this kid is the most all-American, even though Mendoza doesn't, but that's America. I mean, he's more American than I am. He's got this childlike innocence. He's really religious. We'll get to it. Anyways, he was 16 for 27 for 186 yards passing, adding a rushing touchdown in the fourth quarter. It's fourth down. Where were they down on, like the 10 or 8? And it's fourth down. They started to bring the kicker on the field. to kick a field goal. They were up by, 6 at that point or whatever, something like that. I don't know. But so the coach goes, no, changes his mind, puts the offense back out there. Now, if they don't get it, still got Miami pinned down there, and Hoosiers have a great defense. So I was surprised that he brought the kicker out in the first place. But again, being a great coach that he is, he caught himself and changed his mind. And they always go with your gut instinct. Always go with your first instinct. No, I don't think so. Mark brings the offense back out. They run, and Dallas, on my mother's eyes. I always say this, though, so it's really not a great prediction. But when they're down on the 10, while I'm watching the NFL or any college football, and they run a few plays, and, they don't go anywhere, and then they try to throw, and that doesn't work, I don't know why they forget this play. It's called a quarterback draw. You drop back the pass. Everybody thinks you're going to throw because the end zone's right there. And usually it opens right up. Well, this didn't open right up. But it's a play that they put in and they practiced. The guy was ready for everything. And a quarterback draw, he runs up the middle, gets hit a couple times. I mean, by like a linebacker. He spins around, keeps his balance, and dives. Look at that. That's going to be like Bobby Orr's picture for Boston fans, for hockey fans. You can't go into any hockey bar without seeing it. That's what that's going to be for. That guy is frozen in time for the next 1,000 years. They were 100-1 odds to win at the beginning of the season. And I think Miami was too. This is the great thing about this playoffs and the portal system and shit. You don't know who's going to. And football fans, we need some new blood. We're sick of, we're sick of the same teams, the Ohio States. And so that play ended up being the difference. On a 4th down, and they get a touchdown. Omar Cooper Jr. had 5 catches for 71 yards. And this is where he showed his mettle, this Mendoza kid. Well, Charlie Becker added 4 catches for 65, the most important 65 yards of the whole game. There was a couple times that it's 3rd and long, whatever, and he throws this back shoulder pass, which they do in the pros. So the pros, the scouts have to be licking their chops. And this Becker kid was another kid that wasn't a big recruit out of high school. And he was, all year, he's been unfucking believable. And by the way, not that this matters, but I'm going to point it out anyways. I'm looking at the Indiana team. I go, what's different? And I'm looking at they're lined up at the line of scrimmage. Only 3 black guys out of 11 offensive players at the line of scrimmage. I'm just saying, those Miami dudes, which are all black, and they're all getting drafted. They were unbelievable. They're fucking mean. They're fast. But those white boys, I played a little bit of college football at a 1AA level. All this mean is that line, and that's where it all starts. That's not hyperbole. Those guys, they're tougher than anybody in the country. That's what that means. Your bullies were better bullies than their bullies when you're winning the line of scrimmage like that. They didn't destroy them at the line of scrimmage, but I'm just saying, that's where it all starts. You don't get time to pass if that's not the case. Even up at Maine, we had fucking 5 guys I was scared shit of when they were drunk. I wouldn't go near them. Fucking beat up girls, guys. That's the University of Maine. What the fuck goes on at big school? But that's those guys. Anyways, I'm very excited. I was so afraid Miami was gonna. That little fucking what's his name? Malachi Tony. That kid from Miami. Listen to this, folks. He's supposed to be a senior in high school this year. He's 18 years old. He's younger than a true freshman, and he's probably an All-American. So I was frightened he was going to break one because he always does. Anyways, including a pair of 19-yard catches late in the 3rd and 4th down. That was that Becker kid. Mark Fletcher had 112 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, including a 57-yard scamper in the 3rd quarter. Miami was shut out in the first half. Beck, their quarterback, finished with 232 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception. Malachi Tony, this is the kid I was just telling you about. This kid is supposed to be in high school. 10 catches in the biggest game, 122 yards. 12 yards a catch. Not to mention he can return punts, and he's scary. What he is Tariq Hill. That's exactly who he reminds me of. Probably why he wears the same number. Despite being the lowest seed in the CFB bracket, Miami had the home field advantage for the championship game. They thought they did. Anyways, to continue on with this, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza gives all glory to God, breaks down. He always does.
I am like God, and God like me.
He believes this.
I am as large as God.
He's as small as my pulling guard.
He cannot
beat a
beneath him, me.
Hoosiers, 17th century. Anyways, this is him talking. Mendoza goes, I was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school. Listen to this, folks. This is why this makes it more intriguing. By the way, he grew up 2.5 miles from this stadium. As a kid, he was a Miami Hurricanes fan. Do you understand this? He says, I was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school. I got declined as a walk-on offer to the University of Miami. He says, full circle moment here. That's an understatement. So Miami said, no, you're not good enough for us. Can you fucking imagine? Plus, he grew up being a Miami fan. So he's getting turned down by a team that he followed and he loved. He right near the stadium, and this happened. This is why I'm changing the way I look at God. Here he is talking.
Fourth quarter, you're leading by just 3 points, and coach decides to go for it on 4th down. What did he say to you in that huddle, and how did you execute it?
That's one thing about our team. We're always going to put all on the line. And, I want to give all the glory and thanks to God there. My offensive lineman blocked perfectly, and we're able to execute the team towards a common goal, have the Indiana Hoosiers synergy to score, and then give our team a chance to win the game.
I love how he juxtaposes God and his offensive line. That is such a... Do you hear the innocence and the sweetness about him? We believe, we had each other's backs, and he sincerely believes it because he... And I gotta, folks, you know me, I'm not a religious guy, but I'm watching all this and going, there's got to be something to it. His mother has MS, by the way. She's in a wheelchair. She's a beautiful woman, great family. The dad never stands up during the game, even when he gets a touchdown, because the mother can't stand. That's the type of family. And he's got this innocence about him, and he can play football like as good as anybody at the quarterback position, but he's marketing people are going to go nuts. They want the all-American, likable, we're sick of the LeBron James, China-loving jerk-offs of the world. This kid, Latin, whatever, a Hispanic last name, he's the story. He's a perfect story. Here's a video of him hugging his family right after the game. First thing he did, by the way. By the way, his brother is the quarterback, the backup quarterback, Alberto, I think his name is. Yeah. What the fuck? But what are the odds that he grew up right near that stadium pulling from Miami and they piss all over him? He goes to biggest football moment of his life, comes against a team that shit on him. I am starting to believe. That positive stuff, but you can't. Like Dallas said, it's fake. If you don't believe in it, it ain't going to happen. But when you believe, you got the big man on your side. He's a little better than your head coach. I think, wasn't Jesus an offensive coordinator in the University of Galilee? Nazareth. That's right. He did 2 years at Nazareth. Had a cup of coffee with the Jerusalem. It just made me think, driving here. I'm going 16-0, and I said to Dallas, years ago, a few years ago, before the playoff system, you played, you win your division, you go to a bowl game, and it wasn't always the two best teams playing in the big game. There was no playoff. My point being, you'd win the Sugar Bowl, and you're the number one team in the country, whatever, or maybe not, but. With the playoff system, these guys had to play Oregon twice. Oregon was like ranked at the worst 3 this year, like all year. They had to play them twice, beat them in the regular season, beat them in the play. Had to go to Ohio State, for the Big Ten championship. Both of them were undefeated. Beat Ohio State at Ohio State. Kicked the living shit out of Alabama, which got everybody's attention. I don't care what the Alabama record is. And they were good this year. They were, up and down, but they were good. They play in the SEC. They had a good record. They kicked the shit out of them. And that got a lot of people's attention. And then beat the shit out of Oregon again, scoring like 50-something points. And I'm making the statement definitive. I've been watching college football that is the best college football team I had ever seen. As far as they committed 2 penalties last night, which is as much as I saw them commit when I watched them play 3 whole games. All year, they were the least penalized team. And they had guys that made big plays and hardly never. I'm just saying. I know I'm going a little nuts here, but University of Indiana students, by the way, this is in Bloomington, Indiana, at the campus. It's 0 degrees out last night, and here they are. Anybody drinking and getting laid that night? Oh, I don't know. And there is the coach, Natty, who took this program over 2 years ago. They had like 4 wins. They've been a doormat of the Big Ten for 1,000 years. Ohio State, when I was a kid, would beat them 77-0. Everybody would just kick the shit out of them. And you're like, why are they even in the Big Ten? Or the Big, right? And he comes in and turns it around that quickly. And even I think Saban or somebody said, it's the greatest coaching job I've ever seen in college football. So congratulations, dudes. Hey, if your New Year's resolution is to eat better, check out Factor. Save time and money without shopping or cooking. Factor's chef-prepped meals are ready in just 2 minutes with a wide variety of weekly options. You'll never get bored. Trying to keep a specific diet? Factor's GLP-1 friendly, high protein and calorie smart meals make it easy to eat healthy, that's what's cool. I mean, you can add, because a lot of these things, it's not the healthiest stuff. And they sent me some of the stuff. I had the shredded chicken taco bowl and I had the garlic roasted chicken, and it was very good. I got to tell you, it was very good. And I know my food, Nick's Bitchin' Kitchen. Always fresh, never frozen, no prep, and no stress. So head to factormeals.com. That's factormeals.com/NickDip50off and use code NickDip50off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 whole year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. Since I'm in the selling mood, go to nickdip.com if you want to support the show, which I do need. Head to nickdip.com and go to the merch page. We've got hats, hoodies, T-shirts, mugs. Wear it and piss off all the liberal jerk-offs, the 2 that you know. And it's good stuff. The T-shirts are quality stuff. You know why? Because I told my wife what guys like in a good T-shirt. And she found it. Little Asian kid pumps him out of our garage. 3 a.m. I'm whipping him. That's it, folks. If you want to watch the whole show live and free, go to Rumble and sign up for free. And while you're at it, go to nickdip.com for tour dates and merch. We'll see you guys next time.
Hi. Good night, everybody.